Carmelo Anthony poured his heart and soul into the Denver Nuggets. Then Nikola Jokic comes around, steals his jersey number, puts the franchise on his back and turns the whole franchise around? What kind of blasphemy is this? Yes, the Joker won a title, and Denver Nuggets fans should be happy, but disrespecting Carmelo Anthony's legacy? In this video, let's take a look at what's going on from Carmelo's perspective. Let's also assess the situation from the viewpoint of the Denver Nuggets and their historical achievements. Did they really disrespect Melo? Or was it just a case of the jersey number being available? We'll examine the facts, the emotions, and the fan sentiment to discover the truth behind all this drama. Finally, stick to the end and let's shift to Jokic's contributions to his own legacy. Is he really having the better Nuggets career than Carmelo and maybe actually deserves it? Let's roll. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Appreciate you guys. First off, let's hear what Carmelo has to say in these interviews. He's expressed both surprise and betrayal over how easily the number 15 was reissued after his departure. Peep his comments on his 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast. It was a petty maneuver. It wasn't like, oh, we've got numbers to choose from. It was like, here, take this one. You got 15. And y'all put Jokic in the middle of that. He don't know what the F going on. And please agree, this isn't just any number. It's the one Melo wore while leading the Nuggets to 7 consecutive playoff appearances. Yes, they were not able to go deep into the postseason or win a championship, but the impact and the legacy Carmelo left cannot be denied. In his 7.5 seasons in Denver, Melo racked up 4 All-Star appearances and averaged nearly 25 points, over 6 boards, and dished out over 3 assists a game. He was the face of the Nuggets, a beacon of hope for a struggling franchise, and his number 15 was symbolic of that era. However, the way the transition was handled clearly left a sour taste in Carmelo's mouth. It's hard for fans to see their favorite heroes, favorite players' legacies just brushed aside. And for Melo, it must sting to see another superstar make his mark with the very number he made legendary in Denver. Melo blames Denver management for the decision and feels they did him wrong, arguing that just a little respect would have went a long way. Sure, basketball is a business, but that does not mean stiff-arming the past. It's about acknowledging the contributions that laid the groundwork for future successes. And he kind of blames Jokic too. Watch this. He could have been trying to pay homage. I don't know. But what I believe is that they gave him number 15 to try to erase what I did. Of course, from the organization standpoint, they might argue that numbers get retired for players who have brought championships to the team, or for those who have a monumental impact both on and off the court. While Melo's impact is indisputable, the lack of a championship during his tenure could be a factor in their decision to reissue the number 15. The franchise has to make these tough calls, and often they're made with the future in mind, rather than dwelling on the past. As much as sentimentality plays a part in sports, winning is ultimately what defines a franchise's legacy. Take into account that when Jokic was assigned number 15, there's no concrete evidence to suggest that he intended any disrespect to Carmelo Anthony. Coming from Serbia, Jokic may not have fully grasped the significance of the number in Denver's basketball history. Remember, he cares more about horse races, not so much basketball politics. In fact, Jokic has often downplayed his personal achievements and propped up the team's success, which could indicate he wasn't nearly as focused on the number he was wearing and more so on how he could contribute to the team. Don't get me wrong, there's no denying his impact. Since taking Melo's former number, he's become an MVP and taken the Nuggets to new heights. Yet, Nikola is known for his humility and has never publicly gloated about his successes or the number he wears. After all, the fact that Jokic, another franchise icon now, is donning the same number could be viewed as a passing of the torch rather than blatant disrespect. Despite the emotions running high, we have to consider the possibility of unintended consequences. Perhaps no malice was intended by the Nuggets management or Jokic himself. The organization could have been looking forward, not back, and didn't anticipate the negative response from Melo or the fans. The fans, though, we all have a voice too. And many feel that Melo's numbers should have been off limits, at least for a respectful period after his departure. On social media and sports forums, debates rage on about whether the number 15 should eventually hang from the rafters in Melo's honor, signifying permanent respect for his contributions to the team. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments. But hey, let's compare Melo and Jokic in terms of franchise influence to get a fuller picture. Let's take a look at Jokic's current stats, so keep watching to understand if he's having a better Nuggets career than Carmelo. Think about it. Can we really say Jokic hasn't earned the right to forge his own path with the Nuggets? With his string of triple-doubles, unique playmaking abilities, and leadership on the court, it's hard to argue against his immense contribution to the team. He may not have erased Melo's legacy, but he's certainly running his own chapter in Nuggets history. The Joker is averaging a career double-double and almost a triple-double this season with 26 points and 12 rebounds and 9 assists per game. He's also shooting an impressive 35% from behind the arc. For a center, that's practically unheard of. His passing skills and court vision have revolutionized the position, making him the centerpiece of the Nuggets offense. Jokic's ability to read the game and make those around him better is something that has brought a new dimension to how the game is played by a big man. Defensively, Jokic has been criticized for not being as dominant, but his basketball IQ allows him to be in the right place at the right time, and he's developed a knack for timely steals and rebounds that shift game momentum. His overall impact is, therefore, not just offensive, but also subtly influenced on the defensive end. While championships are still elusive, Jokic's presence and performance have undoubtedly elevated the team's potential. The Nuggets are consistently seen as contenders in a tough Western Conference thanks to him. His leadership and skill have also fostered a stronger, more cohesive team culture, which is an intangible yet critical element of success. With Jokic at the helm, the Nuggets consistently find themselves in the middle of a deep playoff run, something that has excited the fan base and re-energized the franchise. Nikola Jokic's greatness, in a way, is making people forget about Melo's contributions. Yet, it's essential to remember that the history of a franchise isn't written by a single player's achievements alone. Carmelo Anthony's era was a keystone period that helped shape the current state of the team. At the end of the day, it's not just about statistics or the accolades, it's also about the moments, the memories created, and the hope instilled in the hearts of fans. Both Melo and Jokic have done this in their unique ways. It's a tough call for a franchise, deciding when and how to honor its stars, especially in a sport where players often move teams and loyalties can be tested. Yet, recognizing the greats of the past while cheering on the current heroes is what enriches the tapestry of a team's history. And yeah, the debate about Melo's legacy versus Jokic's impact is ultimately a testimony to the passion fans hold for their team and the deep connections we make with athletes who represent our hopes on the court. The question of disrespect, in turn, might boil down to a matter of perspective, with older fans feeling a stronger attachment to Carmelo's years and newer fans riding the wave of Jokic's ascent. The older generation may emphasize tradition and honor, suggesting a period of dormancy for Melo's number. The newer generation, meanwhile, witnesses Jokic's brilliance and may prioritize the present and future milestones over those in the past. In any case, this discussion speaks volumes about the rich legacy of the Denver Nuggets and the complex relationship between a team's history and its evolving narrative. History matters, and so does the heroes who shape it. So who knows? Perhaps one day both numbers will be hanging from the rafters, one for the legacy built and one for the future crafted. That would be an appropriate nod to both players who have each defined the Nuggets in their respective eras. who have each defined the Nuggets in their respective eras.